from Team Roswell. He does the Roswell UFO Tour. He's a forensic engineer turned UFO investigator. It's my friend Paul Semones.
The Roswell Incident is a case that involves genuine historical events involving actual military figures. You see on the wall behind me, Major Jesse Marcel, the intelligence officer of the world's only nuclear-capable strike group in 1947. What you see there are the actual historic newspaper photos that were plastered all over the nation's front pages the day after the announcement came out from Roswell that they had captured a flying saucer. What you are looking at in those pictures is Major Marcel posed in front of a pile of tinfoil trash. We are supposed to believe that these pictures tell the entire story. And the basic story is that a rancher found some strange stuff on his land. He comes to the city of Roswell. He reports it to a sheriff. The sheriff calls down to the army base at the south end of town, and they put out a press release telling the world, after Major Marcel has gone to that ranch to recover the material, they put out a press release telling the world they captured a flying saucer. Within a few hours, these pictures are taken. For 78 years, these pictures have confused the world. You are supposed to look at them and believe that that's all there is to it. What you see on the floor in front of Major Marcel is nothing but a tinfoil radar target kite, which they would use to fly up into the atmosphere to track wind speeds by radar at high altitude. They took one of these, they smashed it up, they threw it on the floor, they brought in a newspaper photographer. Let me ask a quick quiz question. Where are these famous pictures of Major Marcel taken? Who knows? These pictures are taken in the office of Brigadier General Roger Ramey, the commander of the 8th Air Force at Fort Worth Army Airfield. Ladies and gentlemen, these pictures are not even taken at the state of New Mexico. We look at these pictures, you are expected to believe, he said it was a weather balloon. You can tell that's just tinfoil trash. That is the tinfoil trash of a weather balloon. And those pictures are not even taken in the state of New Mexico where the historical military events even occurred. I ask you a question. Imagine the O.J. Simpson trial. Imagine if the prosecution had only one shred of evidence to prove that O.J. Simpson was a murderer. What would that piece of evidence be? Not the glove. Imagine that the only shred of evidence that the prosecution had to convince the world that O.J. Simpson was a murderer was a photograph of a glove on a park bench in Oregon. That is what these pictures are, ladies and gentlemen. They are pictures of something not even taken in the state of New Mexico, and you are supposed to believe that they tell the complete story. I'll give you one more thing to think about. The official cover story repeated by our government to this very day about the Roswell Incident. It was repeated even just last year in the brand new historical survey report from the All Domain and Albany Resolution Office of our Department of Defense. The story that is reiterated even today is that what you are looking at there came from Project Mogul, the super top secret balloon experiments being launched over here at Alamogordo in 1947. We are told that that was from Project Mogul, a tinfoil radar target kite from Project Mogul flight number 4. Of June 4th, 1947. There was no flight number 4. But don't let that stop a good cover story, right? The government doesn't have to come up with an explanation. They just have to come up with an excuse. Flight number 4 of June 4th, and these pictures are taken on July 8th, which means you are supposed to believe, ladies and gentlemen, that the stuff that you are looking at in these pictures laid out on Rancher Mac Brazel's land in the monsoon season of Lincoln County, New Mexico, with its windstorms, rainstorms, hailstorms, flash flooding, dirt that clings to metallic surfaces like powdered sugar, mud that turns to rock, a land of wild antelope, free-range cattle that leave cow patties every 10 feet, grazing sheep that leave anything shiny and fluttering in the grass in front of them. And you're supposed to believe that laid out on Rancher Mac Brazel's land for 5 weeks. I have one simple question for our Department of Defense as they tell us that Roswell was nothing but a weather balloon. Ladies and gentlemen, where's the dirt?
There you have it. The government said, Roswell, if the balloon doesn't fit, you must have quit. It was just a weather balloon. It was just Project Mogul.